From The Reporter, the paper of record for Delaware County's towns and villages, this is Off the Record, a quick look at the latest county news. I'm Andrew Kantor. This week, we've got a town overrun by cats, cannabis paying off in Sidney's 2026 budget, Walton might be getting pickleball courts and a skate park, and more. So let's get to it. Cats. Cats in Walton, everywhere. Feral cats are apparently overrunning the village to the point that Mayor Bjorn Eilertson says he wants a new law to tackle the problem. There's one house in the village with more than 20 cats inside, and it's not clear if there's a human being there too. So this law he's thinking of, it might limit the number of cats one person could own. It might treat anyone who feeds a cat as its legal owner. It might, actually it's not clear what it might do because Eilertson is still drafting it. No one's voting on anything, but if you've got ideas on how to deal with feral cats running around Walton, the trustees would love to hear from you. And yes, they know about trap, neuter, return, just not how to pay for that. And by the way, you are welcome for not making any bad cat puns because I really wanted to work in catastrophe. Inflation in Schmation. Sidney town residents won't see any tax hike in 2026, and the town will still be able to pay for employee raises, higher health insurance and electricity costs, and put some money away for the future. Why? Cannabis. Thanks to the Green's Greenery dispensary on the edge of town, Sidney is expecting to triple its sales tax revenue for 2026 from $35,000 to $105,000. That means just because inflation and tariffs are making everything more expensive, taxpayers aren't going to notice. Town roads will be maintained, employees will be paid, all the equipment will keep working, and they can thank one little store for that. It's open till 9 p.m. weekdays and Saturdays in case you care. Oh, and if you're thinking maybe your town should get a dispensary and cash in on that sweet, sweet cannabis tax, too late. The state gave towns and villages one chance to opt in. If they didn't, they're out of luck. Starting in 2026, New York law says that new homes can't have fossil fuel-powered appliances. That means no more gas stoves, no more oil burners. We're talking heat pumps and electric stoves instead. Just to be clear, this does not affect existing homes at all. Burn all the oil you want. But if you're a contractor, you need to know about this. And you'd think it'd be pretty simple, right? Just don't install gas or oil-burning equipment. But it's not. And the county code office is being flooded with questions about enforcement and timelines and expectations. Stuff like whether it means electrical code might change, or if new houses have to be ready to have EV chargers on the outside. It's one of those things that's a big deal at first, then everyone figures out what it means, and in a few months it's pretty much a non-issue. But for the moment, people are getting silly about it, including Sheriff Craig Dumond, who has absolutely nothing to do with any of this, but still weighed in that, and I quote, "They're killing us." Yeah, killing us.
You keep using that word. I don't think it means what you think it means.
What else is happening around the county? Well, still no Aldi for Sidney. The village's new canine officer, was named Chase by the students at Sidney Central School. You had your chance, kids. You had your chance. Walton trustee Eric Northrup doesn't care what you smoke or vape. He just doesn't want you or anyone to do it in playgrounds or in front of stores. It's not good for business, and it's not good for kids, and he's been hearing complaints. So he's asking for a public hearing about introducing a new ordinance in the village that would prohibit smoking and vaping on all village property, including within 100 feet of any public business entrance. I suspect we'll be hearing more about this in the very near future. Also in Walton, a state court has told the village that yes, it has to fork over back pay and more to a village police officer who was diagnosed with PTSD after a fatal shooting in 2021. The village had denied him benefits, we're talking salary and medical costs, because, get this, he filed the paperwork 2 days late. And if you're thinking, hey, that's on him, you ought to know that the village took so long mailing him the paperwork that the court said it was virtually impossible for him to get it in on time. So now the village is on the hook for back pay, back benefits, and court costs, which is not good news for taxpayers. Back in Sidney, the public works crew there is asking village trustees to end overnight snow plowing. They don't have the staff to do it safely. There are only 2 people on the shift, so if one's out, that means a heck of a lot of work for the other. They also point out that none of the other towns and villages around here have overnight plowing. The trustees, they're thinking about it. The commissioner of the New York City Department of Environmental Protection came up to Arkville to sit down, trade apologies, and work with the folks at the Coalition of Watershed Towns. The plan? Create a new water withdrawal permit that everyone's happy with. There's been a bunch of back and forth on the issue, and this past summer they kind of stopped talking. Now they're back at the table, making nice and, crazy as it may seem, working together. Back to Walton, where they're talking about doing a bit of refurbishment with some of the recreation areas. Cracked tennis courts in Austin Lincoln Park? One person is hoping to turn them into pickleball courts. He's already looking for grants to refurbish the surface, which could cost as much as $75,000. And the abandoned ice skating rink also in the park? A different resident is asking permission to raise money to make it into a public skate park. He's even got a little committee together, and they've offered to do the legwork to make it happen. But there's no point in starting unless the village trustees give it the thumbs up. In both cases, those trustees haven't made any decisions, but they did seem to like the ideas. And that's it for this week's Off the Record. You know what to do. There's plenty more in the Reporter, like Walton looking for state funding to demolish some abandoned homes, and why Sidney had to close the playground in Keith Clark Park. And there's, of course, a lot more. You just need to pick up the paper, or better yet, subscribe. Head over to the-reporter.net. It's your hometown paper, and a lot better than Facebook for getting the actual news. Until next week, I'm Andrew Kantor. Thanks for being here.